Hey, full throttle kind of guy. Got a question for you. Working on an older car. It has its idiosyncrasies. I know, it's a shocker. Especially when you have a car that was like left for dead in a field from like 2007 until like 2018. There's something bound to be wrong with the electrical system, and who knows what, because again, older cars, you could have anything going on. Well, stay tuned if you want to see how I solved my erratic brake light / turn signal issue. Full throttle kind of guy. Thanks for sticking with me. This episode, I'll call it, What's Up with the Junk in My Trunk? Anyways, I had a problem with my driver's side turn signal. Whenever I had the lights on, sometimes it would work intermittently. And then when you engage the brakes or headlights and you try turning on the turn signal, it wouldn't work at all, or half the turn signal lights would work. So this is my journey to kind of show you what I did to help resolve my issue. Had some tools available. It's real simple, just a matter of doing the diag. Also, in case you're unfamiliar with the wiring schematics for your vehicle, it's best to see if you can kind of find those. I found mine online, and from an earlier episode, I had my wife blow it up so I can kind of see the route and the avenues that I needed to go, but most importantly, what color does what. And then, so here we go. I'm gonna dive into the trunk. That's an simile. I'm not actually gonna do that because my trunk wouldn't hold me, and I'd fall through and push my gas tank out, and the trunk doesn't look real pretty anyway. So, you know what Swiss cheese looks like. You know what my trunk looks like. So here we go. Ooh, the mysteries of electricity and wiring harnesses. All right, so here goes the schematic. Here goes my target. As you can see, there's two green bits of the harness that go into the actual taillight assembly. I'm going to check the ground. My guess is the ground could be a little bit on the filthy side and needs a little, maintenance to kind of bring it up to speed. Just like anything else, if you don't perform maintenance, you're going to have problems. And here we go. So what I did was got some basic hand tools, needed my bicycle needle nose pliers, socket, so I can take out the ground, and I'll show you that here in a second. I like using electrical contact cleaner, and the reason why is because, granted, I don't have anything small enough to fit into the actual harness, into the light assembly, but this stuff actually works like a gangbuster in getting out corrosion, dries fast, doesn't leave any film. And then I'm going to go ahead and GI the tips, and I think I'm going to put a little dielectric grease on it. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go after the ground strap, and hopefully you can see that. So here, I'll get you in a little bit better position. So in the lighting on the Galaxie, and if ever you try to get into a trunk on a Galaxie, good luck. You're not doing it through this. So there's the ground strap, and as you can see, just from the overall appearance, it is pretty gnarly. So time to do a little bit of R&R. I'm actually shocked that the fastener came off, but as you can see, the contacts on it are pretty horrendous. So that's a lot of resistance in the line, and as you can see, look at the contact surfaces on it already. They're just absolutely corroded. Now, by moving this around, I can also feel the wiring on it's a little frail. But one thing I noticed, check this out, with the harness, the wiring is there, but the actual wire itself, or the plastic that covers it, is missing. So what I'm going to do is, I hate to cut them and try to resplice them. I may have to do that because, again, it feels kind of like frail and bitter, or brittle, excuse me. And so what I'm going to do is I'll put a bit of heat shrink over this heat shrink tubing, and with a lighter I'll shrink it up and see if it firms it up. But that'll alleviate one potential spot for contact, which will give you an open circuit. So give me just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and get my shrink tubing, make the magic happen. I'll be right back. Okay, back. So here's the plan. I'm going to take the wiring harness. Like I said, I'm not going to cut it. I will if I have to, but you know, that's to be determined at a later date. I just want to make sure the repair, if I'm chasing my tail or this is actually it. So what I did was I took a strip of shrink tubing, I cut part of it off. We're going to just do a field expedient strengthening of the harness itself. It's going to get loud because, you know, I got the heat gun going, so it's probably not going to hear me. Plus I'll probably fast forward through this anyway, but hang on. Those bullet connectors, you can buy them, but they don't fit like the factory ones do. And like I said, again, I'm not trying to commit to a repair that I don't know if it's really going to fix it or not. If it does, and if you're a car person with the world's worst case of what the heck is it, being obsessive compulsive, and you want to fix it, you know, and go all out and do it, then, you know, Godspeed. Then again, like I said, with OCD, you know, until you know it's fixed and done right, trying to find a repop harness, I mean, it's going to be a little bit pricey, but they're out there. Or you can just make it yourself. You don't necessarily have to buy an aftermarket unit or get an NOS piece. You know, with my car, it's going to be far from a show car. But, you know, it's my Galaxie, and you don't really see too many of these bad boys roaming the street. Okay, so there we go. That is done. What I'm going to do, too, like I said before, is I'll clean out these contacts, make sure there's appropriate grounding, and reduce the resistance on this. Just get yourself your little brush and have at it. If you are not wearing glasses, you might want to consider wearing some safety glasses. Thankfully, I'm wearing my Coke bottles, and they are good to go as far as the safety rating on them from when I used to drive. Good there. Remember, this is a harness out of the actual tail lamp assembly. It's not from the actual harness from inside the car. The one inside the car, here's one, and then here's the other. So let me go ahead and get this one done, because that thing is looking pretty funky. I'm going to take this nut and run it on the grinding wheel real quick. I'll be back. All right, back. Now, I mentioned dielectric grease. Do you need dielectric grease? Not necessarily, but I'm in the Northwest and it rains, so I just like to have that peace of mind knowing that, you know, my contacts are clean, but also a little preventative maintenance on it as well. And then here's the one rusty nut from before. Use my wire wheel to clean it up. I'll tell you what, if you're getting into the car, how do you say, repairs or hobbies or whatever you want to call it, you know, wrecking your life with older cars like this and going psycho, get yourself, it should be at least in your top 10 must-have tools, is that grinding wheel. I'm gonna tell you, man, that thing, if you don't have one, I mean, do you need one? Not necessarily, but if you don't mind scrubbing everything with a wire brush and going to town doing that stuff, hey, you know, again, more power to you. But you can get jobs done and you'll use that wheel over and over, and with the time, trouble, and frustration it saves you, I mean, you'll be miles ahead of the game. Now, do you need this much dielectric grease? I've had this tube, and this is no lie, since 1986. So I've managed to track it, keep it in my possession and whatnot. Thanks to Uncle Sam. Hey man, I'm always big about accountability. So there you have it. So that, for me, more than likely, maybe a lifetime supply, unless I go, you know, start working on you know, wiring harnesses and other things. I even use it for my spark plugs to help, you know, keep corrosion from the terminals themselves. But, you know, to each their own. Don't over tighten this, because remember, it's mainly made out of older metals as far as like tin work and whatnot. It's been in service for decades, so this thing, as they say in A Christmas Story, could be really fragile. Pop it till it clicks. Woo, this one's like a little spirited. It's like it doesn't want to go to its home. Oh, Happy Gilmore. Okay, all right then, so now let's go ahead and test out the lights, see if they're brighter, which they suspect they will, and let's see if it's cured my malady of when the turn signals will work, they'd either be really slow, or you'd see the turn signal go on and then off with no lighting in between. So inside the car, it seems to be moving at normal speed. Again, before you could like time it with a calendar. Almost like it had an old school Lucas system. So now they're equal as far as for speed. So let's take a look at brightness and let's see if they're equally bright. I know it's hard to see. I'll go ahead and turn them off so you can make sure I'm not pulling a scam on you guys. I wouldn't lie to you guys, but it's all about credibility nowadays, isn't it? Okay, so off, off. left turn signal. And so now I've got a light for the full cycle. We're looking good. Looks like it fixed that condition. So having a bad ground created that short circuit. And then now we got the left one. So she's fixed. Lights off. Turn signal nice and bright. Turn signal nice and bright. So proof is in the pudding. Just a little bit of troubleshooting. Did not panic. I know sometimes people tend to freak out a little bit, and you're not going to do yourself any good. Just a matter of formulating a game plan. So again, these are some of the things I used. Do you need them? No. Will it make your life that less stressful? Probably. So again, I got my geriatric oversized schematic, a couple of wire brushes because I knew that there was going to be some corrosion, electronic cleaner, dielectric grease, socket to get in there. Also had my needle nose pliers, and I got this from Evil Space Cowboy. Really nice. Basically a step above a test light. It actually will register voltage. So what I did was turn the turn signal on, and it would activate or strobe, that it had power. So I knew that I had part of the circuit. There's something going on at the light. Another tool was good old heat gun and shrink tubing. So again, for the little repair I did there. So for that repair work, gosh, between me stopping and filming and whatnot, Lord is my witness, 10-minute job, if that. And that was mostly chasing down tools and that. But other than that, she's good to go. Ready to rock and roll, get a little bit of road action in. Gonna go get me a lottery ticket. So if I win a lottery, I'm gonna get me a SOC H single over cam 427. I'll get that. And as a bonus, if I win, and if I get like a big lottery ticket like that, I'll do something magical for one of my random subscribers. But here we go. So if you haven't had a chance to work on your car, do something you want to do, again, figure out a low-hanging job. Let me go and spin this around real quick. Full throttle kind of guy. Wrapping up on the day on this one. Little job. The weather's been really intermittent here as far as like rain and whatnot, so I wanted to do something that was pretty fast and at least get a little content out. Wanted to take a moment and thank Two Hacks Garage. Did a live feed just the other day on Friday, yesterday. If you have a chance, please stop by and see their webpage. One of the two Hacks guys is Jeff, a scholar and a gentleman. I know I use that term a lot, but I don't use it loosely. Really doing a lot to help with the no-name nationals. It's going to be a great thing. So if anything, just to kind of help out and get this process going. But nonetheless, me getting my car going, I needed something that was going to be quick. I had a suspect as far as what it was, and I found my suspect. I guess there's a workaround too, in case you can't establish a good ground, you're going to put additional ground straps, things like that on it to kind of help resolve your issues. But old school troubleshooting, I mean, nothing fancy, no tool, no, OBD2 nonsense or whatnot. It was just a matter of common sense and getting a map and figuring out your game plan. So got it done. I got it done. Man, you people, I know, I trust and I believe in you guys. I know you can do it too. Probably even better than what I did. This is just my journey on getting it done. I'm sure there's different ways other people can get their things done and make the magic happen. That's cool. So wrapping it up. I'm gonna police up my tools, do a little police call, pick up some cigarette butts, go get me a lottery ticket, come back, and then chill out for the day and do a little video editing, because again, promised I'm stepping up my game. So, full throttle kind of guy, checking out for Saturday, the 7th. Hopefully the weather's nice in the area. If not, it will get nice, have faith, and then make some memories, make some magic. Get out there and work on something. Full throttle kind of guy, peace out.